Hey, good people. How are you? Peace be upon you all. Now, today I have a few words that I want to talk about. You see, most often I engage myself a lot in conversation, religious conversation with my Muslim friends, with atheist friends, people of other faiths, even with Christians, those whom I agree with and those whom, in a few instances, I disagree with on matters. And so, but when speaking to Muslims, there's this question that keeps on bothering. Every time you hear it, it doesn't matter whether you're in Kenya, in Tanzania, whether you're in Uganda, whether you are in right here in the US and whatever part where you come in conversation with a Muslim, whether you are in the Middle East, you will keep hearing this very same question. If Jesus is God and he died and was buried 3 days, who was controlling the world when God was dead? Now, this question arises, one, because my Muslim friends and family, they keep on thinking, one, that the death means cessation. That when somebody dies, then he is nowhere. It's gone. Now, this does not even agree with Islamic teaching. In my understanding, this does not go well with the Islamic teaching, even the teaching on Barzakh. For instance, today, when a Muslim goes to Makkah and to Medina for the Hajj, they actually go, one of which is to stop by the tomb of the Prophet Muhammad, and if you can reach it, and actually to greet him, to say, Ya Rasulullah, Assalamu alaikum, Ya Rasulullah, peace be upon you, O Prophet of God, or Apostle of God. Whether he answers or not is not the subject for today. And yes, though the Quran says that the dead and the living are not the same, they're not in the same category, or that the dead do not hear. Yet, Islam does not teach that death is cessation. For instance, the sheikhs, they know this very well, and whether this is a teaching which can be considered like an invasion that was done after the Prophet Muhammad, I cannot tell. But the truth is, there are some sheikhs that actually teach the death. They tell the dead guy, whether a woman or man, that today you will be visited with two visitors. They will come to ask you a question, and they are talking about the two angels. The two angels that are believed to come and visit the dead Muslim in his grave. And of course, they are coming to ask some questions. They'll ask you, Ma Imamka, who is your leader? And you're supposed to answer this and this. They ask you, Ma Nabiuka, who is your prophet? They will ask you, who is your God? You are supposed to answer these questions. And therefore, there is such a teaching actually in Islam. Now, Jesus says to the thief, today I shall be with you in paradise. And not only that, I want to actually go into this question because when you read the Quran, it does shed light on some issues, and I don't believe in the inspiration of the Quran. And I'm just using it just like Paul, the apostle, could quote the Athenian poets. It didn't mean they were inspired at all. Look, allow me to read a verse of the Quran that I find very unique, and I'm reading the Holy Quran. Let me see the translation here, so that before someone accuses me of making my own translation, I'm reading the English translation by Muhammad Yusuf Ali. As you can see, this is a translation done by Yusuf Ali. Okay. Now, if I read chapter 27, I'm going to open chapter 27 real quick here. And I'm going to read from verse 7, and I'm going to ask just a few questions for clarity. It says, "Behold, Moses said to his family, I perceive a fire. Soon I will bring you from there some information, or I will bring you a burnishing brand to light our fuel, that you may warm yourselves. But when he came to the fire, a voice was heard, Blessed are those in the fire. Blessed is God in the fire, and those around, and glory to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. O Moses, verily I am Allah, the exalted, the mighty, the wise." Now this portion that I've just read leaves us with many questions. It's a little bit warmer. God. It leaves us with questions that we must ask, questions that must be answered by my Muslim friends. Now, for instance, the Quran says taking of the fire, and this instance is also repeated in the Bible, so though differently. But I want to ask this question. The Quran says, "Blessed is whoever that is in the fire, and whoever that is around it." It goes on to say, "O Moses, I'm Allah." Yet the sheikhs would not admit this. They would not say this was Allah. They want to twist this scripture. And what am I saying? I will come and give a detailed teaching on the deity of Jesus. But I want to remove this mythology, this myth that because Jesus was died and buried for 3 days, therefore he cannot be God. Therefore he ceased to be. No, he never ceased to be. Look, you cannot argue this argument even from an Islamic point of view. And if there is somebody who can actually do it from an Islamic point of view, I would love to hear the argument. But so far I have not heard any argument that can hold water. Now, again, let me just and note that I have my Bible is here. I have not gone to the Bible yet, because I just wanted to remove that concept right now. And I'll come back, talk about Jesus a little bit more from the Bible, and why I believe that Jesus was and is divine. Thank you.